Ritten's above the cut line. Jared, 33 points above the cut line. Merkelman is 16 points above the cut line. Team Swish is 2 points above the cut line. And then below the cut line, you have Big Belly Brand, who's -2 below the cut line. Butter Burton, who's -4 below the cut line. And Lil Uzi, who's -14 below the cut line.
I have to say the driver that's really in danger in this race is Little Uzi, the one that you just spoke of with the -14 points. He's really going to have to perform a good race here at Chicagoland in order to get into the next round, or to improve on his season. So,
well,
I
think he needs to get stage points, and he needs to have a good points. He needs to have a good point stay overall.
Atlanta, are you in here?
Have you guys started the race yet?
Yeah, we have.
Okay, well, I'm a little late to the party, but nonetheless, we'll be starting here in just a few moments.
Yes. Did you get an invite,
right.
Atlanta? Yeah.
Yes, sir, I did. Let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. You are watching the Winston Cup Racing live tonight. Chicagoland, these guys taking on one of my favorite tracks. 134 laps just into the beginning of stage one, missing the final, or the, I'm sorry, not the final, the beginning of flag. But nonetheless, I know these guys have been getting it going. Got Arkham Boss in here, as well as Fungus, so it's going to be a tri-stream tonight. You can head on over to their streams as well if you want to get a little bit different view of the race.
And we were just talking, Atlanta, on the drivers that really needed to race good in order to move on or, do a little bit better with their season. We were talking about Little Uzi. He's -14 points behind. That is just not good.
No. It's never good when you're -14 points behind. And so, honestly, if Little Uzi really wants to be a competitor in this season, he's going to have to get in the top 3 probably most of every other race and definitely win a couple. So we'll see how that affects his season, I guess, in a couple of weeks.
Alrighty, we are racing here in Chicagoland, like Atlanta mentioned before. Since you mentioned this is your favorite track, what do you think is the hardest part about racing at Chicagoland?
Well, it is one of my favorite tracks. It's 1.5 miles or so. You're going to have to, do some drafting. You're not going to have to worry as much about saving tires at, I was doing Dover last night, and he was eating up those guys' tires. So not as bad here, especially compared to another 1.5 mile track like Atlanta. But, it's just keeping close to a buddy, getting a teammate, and trying to run with a pack and save the draft, because if you get lost to this track, it's not easy to catch back up with the guy in front of you if you lose the draft.
I totally agree on that, and right now we got some good racing battles here. Flag code 8693478 is battling with somebody. I can't quite see. It's the 52 car. They're having a good battle here at the racetrack. So we're definitely going to be seeing some good battles here as it gets closer to the finish.
Yeah, I know watching these guys last week, they were running pretty darn great, so it's going to be interesting to see how they run tonight at a different kind of track. With Team Swish, the 34 car is going to be your current leader, Jared El Beastie. I saw him a lot last race, as well as Merkelman, so we'll see what these drivers got today. Get you some Chicago hot dogs up in the stands, and remember, no ketchup.
And
well, here's the thing.
I did point him out. He's sorry, but if I may
no,
point
go
this
ahead.
out. All right, Team Swish is 2 points ahead of the cut line, so he is the current leader. And if he is able to stay right there where he's at, that would help him if he wins the stage and help him points-wise. And hurt some
you're exactly
right. Drivers.
What you thinking about today's race, Fungus?
Well, it's a 1.5 mile track, and it's a very draft-heavy track, you're going to lose some tire wear is going to be effective, like always. But it's like you said, it's not like Atlanta. So, it's going to be very fun, very draft-heavy. I remember Slide Job saying that earlier in the Xfinity Series when they drove there, after he finished his Pro League race. So it's going to be a fun race, and we're going to see a lot of exciting racing tonight.
Just looking through the field here, I'm seeing some intense battles. It's starting to separate a little bit, but they're still packed up, as I believe that's how it's going to be for the remainder of the race. Obviously, these drivers have a lot of talents, and they're bringing it to the people at home that are dealing with this coronavirus thing that just hit us, unbelievably. But it's really important that we're able to bring racing action to people's at home, so that they can have a little comfort in their mind sitting here watching this race.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I can tell you right now that this has sped up me. I did plan on building a PC probably for another couple of months, and I'll be finishing it up probably on Wednesday, so it'll be nice to have all that on my fingertips, because esports is getting so big right now, especially in the racing scene, that I need to make sure that what I'm showing is worth viewing, and want to definitely bring some more into the viewers, for the viewers, and hopefully running these Winston Cup races will be able to integrate a little bit more and keep you a little bit more updated on some of the stuff happening in the race.
I can totally agree with everything you just said. Meanwhile, Team Swish, I believe, is your current leader. He is just flying away. It seems he's pulling away from, I believe, no, it's not Jared. I can't have eyes on the second car.
It's Sparkly Marker.
Okay. But he's doing a good job where he's at right now, and he may be a contender at the end of the race to win this whole thing.
Well, we will see. Gonna go try to find the leader. Team Swish still leading in that 34 car. It looks like he has got about maybe only half a second on that car behind him. Looks like those top three cars still have each other's draft, but pretty much evenly spread out. Coming up on a lap car now as well.
I believe I saw somebody already pitting. That's another thing that is going to be very important here at Chicagoland. Definitely, because if you mess up on the pits, that could call your day right there.
Yeah, you don't know how many times I've seen a driver out in first, had some kind of crazy lead, and then they go into pits and something happens. Sometimes it is their fault, or sometimes, they lag or something and just costs them the whole race, and it's just horrible to see.
I tell you what, the leaders are having a struggle with that lap car, and he's not wanting to give it up, I believe. Drivers may start making some green flag pit stops. Here we go. We got two cars on pit road as we speak.
43 this time.
So I have a question for our two other people that are broadcasting tonight. How do y'all think pit strategy will play an effect?
Yeah, good racing, guys.
Well, I think that it's going to definitely play a lot to effect, especially when, like I said, you're going to be having to run with a teammate, if possible, a lot of the race. So if you're able to get that pack you're running with down to pits and all take it at the same time and to get running again, then you may be able to, you know, secure your spots. But if you take it down there Lone Ranger, you never know what's going to happen, and there's always the risk of coming out of pits while you're alone and, you know, causing some damage or causing some mayhem with the leaders or a car coming around you.
Yes, indeed. Actually, right now we have some drivers on pit road. Most of the field is most likely on pit road. They're coming out now, so we'll see how this jockeys their position and where it puts them at. Hopefully, some of these drivers got a little bit of luck and be able to draft with their chosen partners here at Chicagoland. I have a question for you, Atlanta. How different is it coming off of a track? I believe they raced at Talladega last week to come to a track like this. What does it mean to a driver in their mindset? How to change tracks like that from week to week basis?
Well, you know, if you're talking generally on the week-to-week basis, there's definitely going to be a lot of different strategies at different tracks. There's not, you know, it is about a mile longer at Talladega than this track, so you're going to get a lot more draft action and you're going to get some crazy speeds. But a lot of those same strategies you can carry over here to Chicagoland and be able to, you know, draft with your partners. And you know, the only times you're going to have to worry a little bit more is maybe in the turns, but other than that, you know, the strategy at Chicagoland, in my mind, would be pretty much the same. But if we were going to a track like Bristol or something, it would be totally different, especially how many cautions you get there.
Definitely. How do you feel on that same question, Fungus? How do you feel?
Well, super speedways, anything can happen at a super speedway, which I believe hurts a lot of drivers that hurt probably a lot of people that were below the cut line and could have helped them as well. But now we're at Chicagoland. It's a mile and a half. You're going, and it's going to, sure, it's a draft heavy track. Like Atlanta said, you can bring a lot of strategy into this track like you did at Talladega. So it's going to be kind of cool to see how people take this, how people come from a race like Talladega to a mile and a half. I think it's a lot easier for me for a mile and a half than a super speedway. That's just me. That could be just, you know, so.
Yeah, while we're on the subject here, Fungus in Atlanta, it's an honor to be with y'all. This is actually my first race that I'm announcing. Having a great time here. But
Hey,
I heard through the
an honor to be
grapevine
with
that
you.
next week they will be heading to the Roval and talk about a track that will be, you know, giving drivers the slip.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, going from a mile, you know, track like this to a road course like the Roval, that's got to be tough in a driver's mind, and I don't know how many drivers will actually be looking forward to that race.
Yeah, I can say if I was that driver, I would not be looking forward to the Roval. Maybe Watkins Glen, but the Roval I'm not so good at. You know, these cars they're built a certain way, and going around a road course to me is not one of those ways. So it's a little harder for me to get around, but it's exciting to watch, especially with the drivers who really know what they're doing. They can take those courses to me just like a Indy car. I mean, it's insane. So I'm excited to see him run next week.
Have any remarks, Fungus?
Well,
I guess not.
Yeah, so it's all good. 34 still going to be your leader. Let's take a look back at some of the other cars currently running. We're going to go see if we got any kind of... Oh, here we go. Hold on one second. We got Flat Colt currently running in that 24. A little battle with him in the car behind. I'm not too sure who that is. Let me go try to... Oh, it's going to be Mr. Slide Job. Let's take an onboard look right now with Mr. Slide Job as they're exiting turn 2 onto that back straightaway. I'm telling you, you get a partner here at Chicagoland, you'll start running, especially with the way these guys are currently pretty evenly spread. They're not going to be pushing as Team Swish. It looks like he's got about a second lead on that second place driver.
I tell you what, Team Swish is doing a heck of a job at this racetrack. It's almost as if he has the whole blueprint to it. So to speak, Atlanta, and
Swish,
yeah.
you are fast.
and you know, if he keeps this up, he may find himself in the next round of the playoffs.
And you know, that's what's in the top or the forefront of every driver's mind. You know, it's point second, winning first. You want to get up there and go ahead and secure as many points as you can at the start of the season, and then you don't have to worry as much. But we'll see. You know, it's never good to go negative right at the start. So
The one amazing thing being this is the first race that I'm announcing. There has been no cautions. It's been a clean race all the way through. So I'm gonna count every coin and make all my wishes that we have no cautions this race. But you never know.
Yeah, I feel like Chicagoland's an easy track not to have cautions at. You get spread out pretty evenly, and yeah. Oh yeah, I know. But you know, the thing is too with the Pro League guys is you're getting used to it all. The nerves are super on edge. You're wanting to impress. They were wanting to impress potential, you know, team owners and all that jazz. So. It's definitely, you know, you are running in top tier leagues right now, but I feel like running at that's a whole nother ball game.
Well, let's take this in mind as well. It's a cutoff race. I'm pretty sure everybody, for the moment, unless you're really close and you're below the cut line or you're very close, like maybe Merkel or Team Swish, you want stage points so they can. Not saying that the like Jared or Slide Job don't need stage points. They're pretty good in the points so far, but Merkel, Team Swish, and the people below the cut line, Big Bella Brand, Butter Burton, and Lil Uzi, they want stage points. I can see them being a little bit more aggressive, not letting spots go from them a little bit easier. So they're gonna try to be as aggressive as they can to stay for. So they want stage points. Then towards the final stage, they're gonna want to be as close. They're gonna want more stage points. They want more stage points. They want a good finishing position so they can get hopefully over the cut line or like Merkel or Team Swish to stay in the top 6.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Definitely looking for those stage points, trying to, you know, not get cut off. We're watching this battle right now. It looks like a couple of cars are actually in a couple of different battles. 88 a Slide Job right here with 2 other cars in front of him. They're back to back, trying to take it to the end of stage 1. All right, it's almost the final lap of the first stage here at Chicagoland for the Winston Cup Racing Series.
I apologize to the people watching this at home. I had a little bit of audio issues here up in the booth, but I got it all fixed now, and we're back to racing.
Yeah.
I believe, like Atlanta said, it was the last lap. I'm not sure if it's over now or not. I didn't quite catch all of it.
Alright. Alright, so first 7 get stage points, correct? Alright, so Team Swish. Yeah. Mikey got 6, finished second. Alright, and he's already advanced.
Well, Atlanta, while we're at this stage break and our fellow announcer is putting in the points and stuff, what do you think these drivers may do differently for stage 2 as they're about to go into it? Green flag in the air.
Yeah, green flag in the air. Team Swish going to be taking it in first right there with the, who's that right next to him? It's like the 32. So, you know, in stage 2, you still got the guys looking for stage points, but this is when I'm going to start trying to itch a little bit more forward. Stage 1, not so much. I'm just going to be running with the pack most of the time, but I'm trying to set myself up for that final stage and go ahead and try to get to at least the top 5 position, and then in that final stage, make my way up to the front somehow, possibly do a little slingshot or something around some cars or something here at Chicagoland, because we are bunched up again here into turn 1.
I was just about to say something about that, Atlanta. You know, it's kind of looking like a Talladega race here with everybody bunched up. I was actually kind of scared for a minute. I thought there would be a crash there.
Hey, yeah, it's, you never know.
Alrighty.
These guys have been great, though, at holding it all night, you know. Thought there may be a crash, but there wasn't. And I was talking earlier, we saw a lot from Jared L. Bestia last week, and he is now your leader in that 43, looking awesome in that purple and red car. 24 currently trailing, and all the teammates, or not teammates, the whole field pretty much. They're not all teammates, right behind.
It actually looks like Atlanta and Fungus, the lead pack is starting to split away from the rest of the pack a little bit here. As they're jockeying for position, they're fighting for everything that they have. You know, as we get closer to the final stage, it's just going to get more exciting on the restarts, and with no cautions so far besides the stage, we may not get as many restarts as some of these drivers would hope for.
Good thing is, though, if you're running a league like this with a bunch of guys that actually know what they're doing, and you're not going to have a bunch of cautions, you know, you can actually get some strategy and start, you know, thinking or talking to a teammate. I don't know if you have a crew chief or a spotter or anything, but you can start strategizing towards the end of the race. If you can, you know, pretty much count on there not being too many cautions. It's when you're at tracks like Bristol or, you know, sometimes with other races that there's caution after caution, and really there's nothing to come into play because you don't know who's going to be pitting or what. So it's going to be cool to see if these guys do go pretty much caution-free here tonight.
I do have to say this, as we're looking at the lead pack battling it out here, you know, if they start side drafting each other and, you know, one gets past another, that will allow some of the cars behind them to catch up.
Yeah, you know, you're exactly right. I mean, the thing is, you got top 3 right there, guy stuck in the middle, but you got 5 guys, burgers, not really, but right there behind him. You know, they can bunch up together and start pushing.
Yes.
You know, that was a
I think there's a
that
battle
just
for the
sounded
lead.
good, man. I love Five
Is there?
Guys.
I think there is a battle for
Yeah,
the lead, by the
listen.
way.
Yeah. We gotta be careful up here when
24
we're
and the,
commentating and
43.
stuff for trademark
Can someone
businesses.
check that out? I think Jared just lost the
yeah,
lead
you're
to
exactly
Flat Colt.
right. Oh, almost
Oh
like somebody
no, just
got into
saying
the corner
Five Guys
now.
is okay. Now, if you started saying that something business sponsors something, now that's another story.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that go into the commentary business here, ladies and gentlemen. But it's definitely a fun time up here in the booth. We get to see these drivers do their best to put on a show for these fans and for themselves. But mostly for the fans.
Yeah, that's one thing to think about is, you know, there's a lot of people who watch these races, you know, Quarantine 400. I mean, well, that's the thing. Even more time to watch Twitch streams.
Exactly.
Jared is
here we
taking it
go.
to the
40.
outside of Flat Colt. Oh. Sorry, I'm watching this live stream. Sorry. I lost connection.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, that ain't good. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get our other person in here as soon as possible, but for right now, me and Atlanta is holding down the race for you guys, and it looks like, is it 43 that just took the lead? Or, well, he's still
Yeah,
leader.
Jared.
Yeah, no, he's been in the
Looks
lead,
like-
but he's got the 24 right on his inside. It looks like Jared might have the momentum. Yep, just going to have the momentum get down that hill just enough to get past that 24, but we'll see. We've got some teammates coming up. The field's starting to bunch up once again. Here is a cross the start finish line. This is stage 2 here at Chicagoland.
How about this, Atlanta? Why don't we go for a crank it up sort of thing and let these fans hear the engines of NASCAR?
Sounds good to me. I'm going to go. Let's see if I can't find... Here we go. Let's see this third place driver really quick. Team switch. We're going to do a little turn it up, per se. And let you listen to this guy for a couple of seconds.
Man, I gotta say, Atlanta, as we went on board for our fans sitting at home during this quarantine session, the engines in this game were absolutely beautiful when you go on board.
Yeah, I remember when I first got NASCAR D4 and I heard the engine sounds and I was just like, oh my lord, these are awesome. So, very cool to see them doing some upgrades in the game.
I'm
by
not
the
quite
way-
sure what happened to the two cars behind the leader, but it seems like they got out of shape there, and Jared is pulling away as we speak right now.
It's coming to 24 laps remaining in the stage.
24 laps in the stage.
I'll be interested in seeing some of these pit strategies, as like my fellow commentator said, 24 fixing to go on 23. We'll see what these drivers do before the final stage at Chicagoland, especially for the drivers that really want to advance to that next round.
Yep, you're exactly right.
We have a little battle here between the second and third place car. It looks like they're side by side. The one thing that's bad about being side by side in this case point scenario, they're not now. But you know, as you're racing side by side, not only does it allow the cars behind them to catch up with them, but it negates the factor that they may not be able to catch the leader if they keep on racing hard against each other.
No, you're exactly right. I've been in some races and thought, like, why are you side by side? Like, you could be pushing me and, you know, we could be catching the leader. Because I usually, if I'm behind a car, I'm going to push them until we get with the pack, and I'm not going to take a chance until I have it.
If I may say this, I'm also in a racing league. Shout out to the Pro Core Racing Series. As a driver, I think you want to fight for every position. And
Yeah.
even though I think it's a lot easier said than done to stay in line and try to catch up to the leader, but as a driver, you want to pass the other guy if he's holding you back.
Definitely. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is, with Dale Earnhardt, they called him an intimidator for a reason. That guy, if he could get past you and you wouldn't let him by, he was going to bump you out of the way or do something to make sure you knew he was faster and that he wasn't going to sit there and wait on you.
He was just going to rattle your cage a little bit, as he used to say. I believe he said that in an interview once, and
Pit road
I believe
strategy.
I'm following the pit strategy here for Mr. Slidejob, and I believe he is going to pit this time. I have heard, and yes, indeed, he is. He's coming down pit road, and that driver will be interesting to see what he does in the final stage, because I was talking before the race with a few drivers, and they were saying that Mr. Slidejob 88 car is one of the best drivers in this league.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely the truth. I mean, he was just qualifying for the Pro Heat League, so it was really cool to see him do some post interviews with him after the races. It was cool, and I think even though he didn't make it, it gave him a lot of experience for this league, and it gave him a lot of experience for next year, and it definitely got his name out there, because now everybody knows who Mr. Slidejob is. So
we have an accident.
It's really cool to see.
Oh no! Sorry to interrupt you, Atlanta. On my screen, somebody got loose, and it involved Mr. Slidejob. They got going again, but he's spinning around, coming off of the track.
Oh man!
I think
we were just
disconnected.
What you want to see.
Man, that was. I apologize to the driver if I gave him bad luck talking good about him. That was not a sight to see, ladies and gentlemen. But he got it back together, and he's going. Not sure what happened there. Maybe we'll conduct a post-race interview to ask him. But that's something that we've been talking about. This whole race, you don't know when something's going to act up on your car, or when you're going to have a bad pit stop. Any pit stop can do that to you, and that was a prime example there with Mr. Slidejob.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It can mess you up, one little thing. So the good thing is drivers like Mr. Slidejob are usually not going to be too affected in their mindset with that. With being a driver, you're going to just think, hey, I'm going to get this on the final stage. I got this. So you're going to do everything you got to do right now, and then hopefully in that final stage, get up with the top drivers.
Jared is the leader. He took it back from Flat Colt after Flat just left pit road. So Jared is your leader.
Jared is the leader here at Chicagoland. I tell you what. He has done an impressive job since he took the lead from, I believe it was
16.
Team Swish. There's 16 laps to go in this stage, and I don't know what happened to Team Swish, but he's definitely going to have to do a better job in the final stage if he wants to win it.
Yeah.
You were a lap down.
Whenever you guys know who the leader is after the pit cycle, let us know.
That was lucky dog.
I believe it's Jared, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Jared is your leader.
Okay, well, Jared L. Bestia is your leader currently running in the 43 car. Man, does he have a lead on that second place driver as he comes across the start-finish line. It looks like if we don't have any cautions or accidents and, no lap drivers getting his way, Jared might have secured stage 2.
I talk to a lot of drivers, in my spare time, not in this league, but some of the drivers that I know in other leagues, and they were saying, you know, yeah, it's good that I won stage 2, but that's not in their mindset. They want to win that final stage and secure a win.
Exactly. I mean, that is, you know, that is the best you can do in a race is win it, obviously. But when it comes to this, you know, it's all about getting those stage points. And if, you know, I've always said drivers are better at some tracks than others. So if this is one of your top tracks and you think you can win at it, you're going to try everything you can to win, because coming next week when they're at a track like the Roval, you may not be doing as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find a battle somewhere in the pack. I think they're evenly spread out through the whole field, but you never know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically spread out, and everybody's running their own race at the moment. As soon as we get a lap count on how many there is to go, we will let you know.
12.
There is 12
There
laps
you go, 12
to go.
laps to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like we lost our co-host there, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Or our tri-host, whatever the heck.
But hey, you know, it's all right, ladies and gentlemen. He fell sick. He doesn't have the coronavirus, but he had to leave early because he wasn't feeling so well. So me and Atlanta will hold it down for the rest of the race and bring you
Definitely.
the exciting news.
Jared's still leading. Let's go take a look. We'll go on board with Merklemore and do a little turn it up. He's got some damage on the front end, but he's not letting that hold him back. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the start finish line.
All right, Atlanta. Mr. Slyjob, it seems like he's made up from that accident on pit road. I'm not sure if he's passed anybody, but he's back and going, and I believe he'll be all right for the final stage when we get there.
That's what you want to see. You don't want to, you know, have somebody unfortunately lose their whole race to one incident. So it's always good to see them fighting back.
How many laps to go, guys?
Coming to 8, I believe.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alrighty, folks. At home, we are winding down the second stage, and it's been a clean race, and if it keeps on going this way, this should be a spectacular finish to the race at Chicagoland for the Cup Series here. Like I said before, it's an honor to commentate with Atlanta here, you know, being the first race that, you know, I've been commentating here, and, you know, seeing these drivers for the first time in the league. It's definitely an experience, and I recommend anybody at home that wants to sign up to a league just to do the pure commentating experience. It's definitely recommended.
Yeah, it definitely is, and you know what helps get into it too. If you don't know, like, oh, I wouldn't even know what to say or anything like that. Just go on YouTube and watch races. Go to your favorite tracks. Just type in a year: 2001, 99, whatever, 87, and just listen to those guys. And before you know it, you know you'll have a pretty full itinerary of stuff you can say during the race, and you know some different ways to look at cars and pit perspectives, and you know different things teammates can help each other with. So it's always cool to see some old and new NASCAR and see it all coming to I guess the internet. I couldn't even think what to say. I was going to think of I was going to say esports, but just coming to the internet.
5
Yeah,
laps
and
to
not
go.
only that, as we got 5 laps to go in this stage here, definitely look up the Winston Racing Series YouTube channel, where you can see some old races like that. One I recommend you, which got me into this, the one that you were commentating, Atlanta, the Truck Series at Canada. I forgot what the racetrack is, but
Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire. Thank you. A voice in my head that randomly popped out of nowhere. uh, but yeah, I definitely recommend watch that one, and you will see that you know, the announcers were just having a heck of a time announcing the race, like I am now with Atlanta.
Yes, sir. It's a fun race, and like I said, Chicagoland being one of my favorite. As Team Swish, we go on board as he is trying to get around the 8 car, the Hertz car right there, and he's got another one right in front of him. He's going to pull on that draft on the inside line. He was your leader for a lot of Stage 1, and he won Stage 1, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so he was your Stage 1 winner, and then too sure what happened. Got a little iffy on pit lane, but he's working his way up there though. He's trying to get by that 78 car, and we'll see what he's got to do. I don't even know what to say at this point. Jared El Bestia is coming up on a lap car, it seems.
Yeah, they're coming to the final
2
lap.
laps to go here at Chicagoland Stage 2. Your final stage coming up here shortly.
The one thing that I want to
Drivers
say...
sitting their hands are asleep.
Oh, sorry about that. But the one thing that I want to say is that... the one thing that I want to say here is that for a driver like Team Swish, you know, sometimes when you're leading the first stage and you actually win it...
For the moment.
You know, sometimes the second stage can be a little bit of a breather. I've heard drivers doing that method. It's not common because, you know, most drivers want to win. But, you know, it's definitely sometimes
Stage
drivers
2,
will not do so good in the second
gets...
stage, but they'll come out and they'll rock it in the third one. And we got a non-legit crash that doesn't matter because the stage is over.
6-5.
All right,
Alrighty.
Atlanta.
Jared
What do you?
taking the stage.
Yes.
What were you gonna ask? I'm sorry.
What do you think is gonna happen in this third and final stage as playoff points and advancing to the next round is on the line here?
Well, the final stage is when you're going to see these drivers really starting to fight, especially with those last 20 laps. That might be where we see the cautions in this race, as we are about to go green for the final stage. Jared El Bestia is going to be starting in first with Flat Colt right next to him. Here we go.
I'm going to try to get... How many playoff drivers got points in stage 1? I got 2 down so far.
I always like to say this, Atlanta. You know, watching NASCAR as a fan, you know, I always watch Fox Sports a bunch of times, and they do this little segment called their top drivers to win the race. So, do you have any top drivers that you think could possibly win this race out of everybody?
Well, if I had to go off of what I've seen, I think it's going to be either Jared or it might be Team Swish. I have a feeling that he's going to be able to get back up there. So we will see. Colt has been doing great as well in that number 24 car, so I can't count him out.
Oh, we just had a car
What are you thinking?
Oh, sorry about that. We just had a car hit hard into the wall. Lost traction. I don't know what happened. No caution is out. Okay, caution is out once they hit the race. Here we go. First caution at Chicagoland. Totally unexpected, Atlanta.
Well, that is... I'm sorry. That is one thing that I do like about this league, is that they do cautions manually, because sometimes, you know, you just need that. And unfortunately, there's leagues where stuff happens where I've seen 4 or 5 drivers spin out and they just kept going. And I don't really think that's, you know, I've said before, we're getting more and more from an arcade style into a simulator as these games progress. And, you know, it's not to the standard of iRacing yet as far as... What's up? Oh. It's not to the standard of iRacing yet, but it's getting there, so...
Yeah, you know, I was looking up last night as drivers are coming to pit road to make their pit stops. NASCAR Heat 5 is planned to be released a little bit earlier this year due to the stuff that's happening outside and other reasons. So hopefully they will add some things that these drivers want, you know, to compete with iRacing, which in my opinion you really can't compete, as we have a crash on pit road. I don't know if it's legit or not, but I just saw something wild, Atlanta. I don't know what happened there. But the one thing about this game that I don't like is that you have those little glitches. I mean, I'm sure iRacing does as well, but not as much as NASCAR Heat 4.
I can tell you that that iRace was glitchy as crap on the other night.
Alrighty, are we on pace laps? Like, how many laps to the green? They're deciding, ladies and gentlemen, who wants the inside and outside and positioning, so bear with us until they get to the green flag, ladies and gentlemen.
So I got stage 2 down in points. I don't think I got... Got stage 2 points down. I got 2 drivers for stage.
Here we go. Green flag is out here at Chicagoland again after that caution. And Team Swish took the lead on the restart. So we'll see if he can keep it up for the whole stage. Hopefully he can, because he is one of my top drivers to win this.
There's a lot of contact behind. Oh. I think Jared hit the wall.
Jarrett may have hit the wall coming out of one of the turns. That is not good. He was doing good in the second stage. I believe he won the second stage. So hopefully he can get back in this thing and possibly reel the win in. But he fell back to 10th. I have somebody saying. So look at this, Atlanta. Team Swish back in the lead, taking off from the field.
What did I say? What did I say? I had a feeling Team Swish would somehow get up there, and he has. Being the leader once again, that 34 car, your stage 1 winner, looking to take the final stage in the race as well.
Well, with the final stage and it being a cutoff race, I believe the playoff drivers will be a lot more aggressive.
Is that 2?
Was that a wreck back there I saw? I'm not sure.
I believe there is.
Was there a wreck? I don't know if they're going to throw a caution or not. Caution at the line is going to be coming out. Oh my god, Atlanta, we're having a caution fest here in the final stage, like you said before.
Hey, I've called some races, so I know how it is.
Alrighty. You know, one of the things about these cautions, you know, and I'm probably sure that Mr. Swish didn't want that to happen. Maybe he did. It just depends. But but you know, the pitting strategy now is all mixed up for some of these drivers that came in with a plan. It just went out the window.
That's what I'm saying, you know. Sometimes strategy is not always going to be in your favor. So you've always got to make sure that you have a different strategy or know how to adapt when it comes to things like this happening in a race.
How many laps after this caution for the whole stage?
They are on, it looks like 45, 44 laps remaining.
Okay.
All right.
So they
still have a little bit to go here.
If it stays caution free, think they're going to 44 laps, so they
My first was
could.
off 16.
They could have at least two more pit stops.
He is.
If I'm correct. If it stays caution free.
I just have a feeling Atlanta and Fungus here that has joined the booth back. We're glad to see you're feeling better. But, you know, I don't think this is going to go caution free. So, we will see what's going on. I don't know what's going on in the track.
Yeah, Swish is lagging.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have had some breaking news. Pit road is open again after a ridiculous. I don't know what's happening on the track. See, this is a part of NASCAR Heat 4 that I don't like, but sometimes you just can't help it, as everybody seems to keep on hitting Swish. I believe he's the lagger of the group. Alrighty, well, after watching the circus show from Swish there, he did a good job, but probably not intentionally. But, you know, once we get back to green flag here, Atlanta, I believe it'll be a spectacular finish, as it always will be.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Bunch of people headed off pit lane right now. Team Swish is wrecked up. It looks like a little problem here on pit lane. Not what you want to see.
No. Alrighty, we're back to pace speed here. Hopefully we will get the green flag soon, so that we can go back racing. But in the meantime, where would you rate this track? Where would you rate this track, Atlanta, as your favorites?
So I'd probably say it's third. I like Atlanta, then Talladega, and then probably Chicagoland. It's my third favorite track. I've honestly never been there. I've been to a couple of other tracks, but not there. But
they were checking up so hard
to get there soon, as Team Swish is going to be at the back of the pack now. Jared Albisti, your Stage 2 winner, is not going to be anywhere near the front. He's going to be in the middle with Big Belly Brand taking it away in that white and red Gatorade 73.
I think
I believe
had a
Big
bad
Belly
restart.
Brand.
That's what hurt Jared.
Inside that.
Big Billy Brand. I'm not sure if something happened to him, but oh, we got a quitter in the pitters here. Merkel is not racing at all. We got contact again. Is the caution going to come out? Not sure. It's still green flag at the moment. Let's try to get a better race view. Here we go.
Slide. I believe Jared is all the way up to 4th now.
Tell you what, all it takes is just a little bit of carnage, and it makes a beautiful race.
He's just holding me up.
Right there.
That's racing.
Oh man, Colt. 24 of Colt taking on it was Boots, but he is not going to have 4th.
Slide job.
Mr. Slide Job coming up as well. Yep, sorry to cut you off there, bud.
It's alright.
Slide Job stuck in the middle here. Has nowhere to go. Oh, boy. Jerry hit the wall with contact. It's just getting all crazy here in the final stages, as Atlanta predicted.
I told you.
Shows,
yeah, that's how it is, man.
Shows his experience, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Flat Colt going to be your leader, 24. He has worked in second place a lot tonight, sometimes third, but now It's his chance to shine. Running in first, that 24 white and red, looking awesome.
My car's fast. I gotta go.
Alrighty, Atlanta and Fungus, why don't we
Everybody's
go
on
on
way.
board with some of these drivers and let the fans hear the engines again, as it seems this may be our last time in the final stage here of this carnage-filled stage.
Sounds good. On board right now with the leader of Cole on the back straight.
You're cool. You're cool.
I tell you what, Atlanta, one driver that I'm surprised to see up here is Little Uzi. I believe he's in second place.
Inside slide. Inside slide.
You know, he's negative 14 points in the standings. So, how much would it be great for him to get a win here at Chicagoland to improve his score?
I mean, not only would that be great for his score, I think it would give him a pretty big, not an ego boost, but a pretty good mindset going into the other races that, you know, even though he did take that big points loss, he can still work and get up there, as we're seeing that 52 run pretty close behind the 24, looking like at any second he might be able to slingshot around and get by. As he almost is about to take it, 24 is going to pull up high as well, trying to block him off. 52 running into turn 3, 24 holding them off. They've got a couple of cars right behind. Looks like a 5-car pack. A couple of other guys spread behind. 24 and 52 battling out.
Inside belly.
It looks like 24
belly.
pulled away a little bit here, but I tell you what, it's getting pretty squirrely in that the rear pack there behind these two guys.
Yeah, and the thing you have to think about too is this is a league that runs with damage on, and not a lot of Cup Series guys do that, or not a lot of leagues, I'm sorry, but they do run with damage on. So if you have any kind of, you know, bump or anything on your car, that can really mess with the aerodynamics and make it where you're not able to draft as well. So we're seeing some cars fall to the back of the pack, even though they were with the draft. They just cannot handle it. If these guys behind the top 2 leaders of Cole and Little Uzi can pack up, they might be able to pull something with Slide Job and a couple of other of these cars.
Well, it looks like 2 cars separated from that rear pack as well. I'm not sure what drivers those are, but if they can work together, they could also catch up to the 2 lead cars here, as Little Uzi is falling back a little bit. He's not on his Flat Colt's bumper as he was before.
I appreciate it, Parker.
So if I'm correct, I believe it looks like maybe Flat Colt is your leader. And then
yes,
I have,
he is.
Alrighty. Then Uzi, Sparkly Marker, Jared, and then Boots caps off your top 5. Battle for 3rd, I believe, between Sparkly Marker and Jared.
Yeah, I'll get there. Just watch me.
I don't know if you're seeing this, Atlanta, but Little Uzi, when he's you know, coming off of the exits of the turns, it looks like that's where he picks up his speed, catching Colt. He didn't do it that time, but he was starting to do that, and then when he got into the turns, his car just wouldn't stick.
Yeah, I saw that happening. It's unfortunate, but you know, like I said, I don't know what kind of damage he has to his car or anything, so we'll see.
How many laps do we got, guys? Alrighty, we got 30 laps to go in the final stage of this race. 30 laps for the drivers to show what they got in order to pull off a win here at Chicagoland.
So, Team Swish has 2,082. Merkel, if I'm correct, did he get stage points in stage 1, if I'm correct? Okay. 4th in stage 1? Okay, so let me.
The one thing that I'm pretty proud of, I mean, I guess I can't really say I'm proud of because I'm not a racer here, but one of our drivers that is below the cut line, I believe it. I guess I can't really say I'm proud of because I'm not a racer here, but one of our drivers that is below the cut line, I believe it's Big Belly, is it Brad? I'm not quite sure, but Brand, he's doing good for himself here. He's up there racing good, so you know, that will definitely improve his points. I'm not sure if that will get him to advance, but we will see at the conclusion of this race. And stay tuned as we have I'm not quite sure how many laps here to go, but stay tuned for post-race interviews. Atlanta, would you like to do one with me?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. Awesome.
It's 27 to go, I believe.
Oh.
So, I believe you said Merkelman finished 4th in the first stage. So I believe he got 2,093 points so far, unless did he lag out?
I'm riding here with Little Uzi coming out of the, I'm sorry, going into the turn. He looks like he's catching that 24 ever so slowly in his 52 Flex Seal Ford. So this may, you know, as the race goes on, if those two behind him don't catch him, you know, which it looks like they are, this may be an exciting finish, and I can't wait for it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Little Uzi going for the lead here as the other two are catching
Jared.
up to him. Look at this. Oh, Cole.
Oh man, contact with Jared. They're going to be able to recover. That was crazy.
Man, I tell you what, talk about some racing at Chicagoland. It is ramping up.
It is as the 43 of Jared's trying to take that first place position. The car's behind, determining who is going to be pushed right now. They are side by side with Little Uzi, 52 on the outside. 43 is going to have the momentum right there, getting pushed from the 32. And it looks like that 4th place driver just lost it somewhere in the middle. 32-52. Those are going to be 2nd and 3rd with Jared, now your leader.
If I'm correct, pit stops are happening or are about to happen.
Yep.
We have contact going into pit road. One of the cars are sideways. I'm not sure who it is. It was the 24 of Colt. He got tapped going into pit road, and he spun around from on my screen.
I believe.
Oh man, you hate to see it.
Some of these drivers are going to have to.
Who was that speeding on pit road like that?
It looks like 23, maybe of 23 laps remaining in this race.
Yeah, not too many.
And the estimated fuel pit after pit, as I'm watching Jared's, is about 21 laps for you to be full of fuel. So I believe they're going to have to either save or they're going to have to go down pit road for a second time.
Alrighty, a little update here on Colt, the driver that was leading for a little while in this race. What happened was he got tapped. He spun around going into pit road, and he had to drive through pit road to come back around the pit again. So that's definitely going to affect his day badly.
Man, oh man. Nothing more frustrating than accident on pit.
Alrighty, who's the leader at this moment in time? Does anybody know?
I believe Jared should. Jared is your leader.
Alrighty.
Jared Albestia still running in that 43 car as your leader into turn 3.
Alrighty. I tell you what, I think, you know, if nothing else goes wrong in this race, as we've seen plenty enough in the final stage, it's just been crazy. But Jarrett may end up winning this race, and if he does, that will definitely do something for him.
But let's talk about this. Fuel window, or the longest your fuel can last unless you don't save, is 21 laps. Jared pit about 2 laps before, around maybe lap 23. So he's, what looks right now, unless he doesn't save, is about 2 or 3 laps short.
And Fungus is completely right there, and you would probably agree with him and me, Atlanta. You know, if these drivers, don't save, they could, find themselves running out of gas before the finish line.
I've seen it happen plenty of times where I was like, oh, here he comes, turn 3, he's going to win, and then out of gas. So it's been funny before, but it's not funny for the driver. And so we'll see what happens towards the end of this race.
So you're either going to have to save or come down pit road again. I believe if you're... It's hard to make a decision. If you're the leader and you're short on fuel, are you going to try to save, or are you going to go down pit road?
Well, another key factor here is Atlanta and you too, Fungus, have said at this track. Drafting is a key to this track sometimes, and when you're drafting with a car, that also saves fuel as well. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, one of you two.
Yes, I believe it is a...
I don't think it's possible.
I remember...
3 laps and 3x.
Like, I was watching the Xfinity race here at Chicagoland, I believe maybe a month or so ago. Slide Job was broadcasting that race, and like he said, it's a very draft-heavy track.
Alrighty, here we go, folks. Jared is still your leader, I believe. I don't know if that's a lap car in front of him, or if that's just a car that came out of pit roads before him. Not quite sure, but
it is a lap car.
It is a lap car. Okay.
It is Flat Colt who's the lap car.
Alrighty, yeah, that driver that has trouble. We can see here Atlanta and Fungus, and I hope that the viewers at home are paying attention to this. You have an accident on pit road and you have to drive through and pit again. That's the spot that you'll exactly be in, Maybe if you're lucky, you'll still be on the lead lap, but 99.9% of the time, you're going to be in front of the leader as a lapped car, and if you go down more than 2 laps here, that's not good.
If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I just saw some people maybe... Did someone get back on the track? Or is that someone coming down pit road?
I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to get a good camera angle to see what's going on the track. Here we go. I believe it's Jared. He's trying to lap that car again, as he is the leader. But Slide Job slowed him up a little bit. Colt hits the wall, spins around. I'm not sure if that's a caution or not. But green flag is still out until the officials say something. He's stopping on the track. I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Spinning around in circle. Oh, now he's in pit road.
Is it
already
got
about a second on that second place driver, so see if we can't keep caution free till the end. I feel like we will not, but that's just how these races are.
Yeah, indeed. I believe Jarrett El Bestia is still the leader here at Chicagoland. If he can, if he can hold. He has about what?
Math. I believe some people may be... I still believe if you don't try to save some fuel, or you don't go down pit road, whichever one you decide,
43 coming in.
You're going to be short on fuel.
You know, a lot of people. Oh, here we go. Jared is pitting right now as we speak. But, you know, the one thing that's really fun and fantastic about these tracks like this, you know, yeah, Talladega and Daytona may be exciting for the pack racing and the big wrecks, but these races right here are really strategized, and that makes them fun as well.
No, you're exactly right. Like I said, this is one of my favorite tracks. Definitely some strategy going in here. It is a mile and a half or so. You know, it takes a little bit longer than some, but it's a fun track. Go ahead.
With this, with people coming down pit road, if they are people going to play, or the strategy going to play into effect? The strategy going to play into effect? I'm asking the two people.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is if you can save, I've seen a lot of drivers save and be at the back of the pack, and you think they're going to be the loser, but they end up being the winner because they're just saving fuel back there. So you might be, you know, having a couple guys surprises here at the end of the race.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen races where, you know, it's been exciting. I remember in real life a race at Darlington. Denny Hamlin, he actually missed pit road, but he got onto the pits and pitted, and what do you know, Martin Truex Jr., that was in the lead, blew a tire, and he ended up winning the race. Unfortunately, NASCAR found out that he cheated a little bit with his setup, so he got penalized for that. But, you know, as a fan at the time, it was definitely exciting, so hopefully something, you know, to that variety will happen here.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out.
I believe there are 9 laps to go in this race.
All right, 9 laps to go here at Atlanta and Fungus. This has been a great time announcing this race. It is coming down to the wire. So, you know, hats off to the drivers that's been racing here, and hopefully the best one will win. We will see here.
Yeah, just a few laps to go. This is when these drivers are getting real antsy and real, you know, aggressive towards the other drivers, trying to get up to the top. As we see Jared passing another lap car. These will definitely come into play towards the end of the race. They
he's
are
not fifth
determining factors.
with that pass.
Huh?
He's not 5th with that pass over Team Swish, I believe.
Okay, so who's the actual leader now?
I can't see it. I can see.
Oh man! So Boots is actually going to be leading this race. He has got nobody anywhere near him. That 12 credit 1 car. Jesus.
Man, I tell you what, Atlanta and Fungus, we were talking about this the whole race, mainly you, Atlanta, but man, we were just talking about how finishes at tracks like this can be amazing, and here you go. Boots is in the lead with nobody behind him, so if he can maintain his speed and don't run out of gas or anything bad happens, he may be your upset winner here.
Yep, we will find out here in just a few laps. Go ahead.
Do you think with him and nobody close to him for the moment, do you think he tries to save if he hasn't came down pit road?
You got it. This is the race for the win right here.
I definitely think so. I think he is saving here. You know, it may not look like it, but
Whoa, God. How did that happen?
You know, well.
Okay, we're just like slowing each other down right now.
You know, things like this, you know, they play a factor into the end of the race, as we've been saying, and so we will see here. Boots in his Toyota, the only Toyota, or well, not the only. Oh, he's coming down pit road right now, so this is definitely a changer. There's a car spinning on the track.
Oh no.
Is there a caution?
So there, I believe it was a single car wreck, so there will not be a caution. Yeah, so 5 to go, no cautions. This will be exciting. Now we have to find out who the leader is again.
Inside marker, inside.
So
Man,
So right now it's Slide Job, Uzi, and there's a battle for third between Sparkly Marker and Jared. And then I believe it says Team Swish is
How far ahead is
fifth.
the leader marker?
alrighty. So, who's that second place driver?
Uzi. And Sparkly Marker and Jared are coming towards you. 2 laps to
Alright.
go.
2 laps to go.
Alrighty. Well, Uzi, I believe, is really far from the leader for being a second place car.
No, it's Sparkly Marker now.
Oh, well, okay. That's the one thing that I hope they add into NASCAR
So I
Heat
believe this is
5
the
to
final
see
lap.
the leaderboard.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Yeah, this is the final lap. I believe.
Oh, this is the final lap. Alrighty, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Here we go. Final lap sponsored by the Winston Cup Racing League.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to goof up there. Didn't want to get copyright. Oh,
You're smart.
alrighty.
And
we
I
got a
believe our
winner here at the
winner-
track.
Slide
Man.
Job is your winner at Chicagoland. Sparkly Marker
Slide
second,
job.
Jared third.
Way to go. We will definitely get a post-race interview with Mr. Slide Job. But
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, that was an exciting race. It was an honor to announce
Definitely.
this race with Atlanta and Fungus, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're happy to do your first race with you. It's very cool that you're getting
Yeah,
into
good
it,
racing,
man.
Marcus.
It's cool.
Good racing.
Man, I tell you what, I was a little bit nervous, but hey, you know, you're gonna have
all
nerves.
One more lap, Slide. You've been had. One more fucking lap.
Alrighty. Well, Slide Job, whenever you're ready to do your post-race and stuff like that, let us know. Alrighty.
Plan.
Ooh, man, that was good. That was
Uzi
good.
finished P9 a lap.
Well, you did a great job.
Like,
Man.
so I believe I got the. Mikey didn't
So
finish
I've
the
got-
race, correct?
Yep, I've got the finishing results coming up to you right now. So, in first place, Mr. Slide Job is going to be winning the race today. In second place, Sparkly Marker. Third place, Jared L. Bestia. We saw him leading a lot today, winning stage 2. Couldn't quite clinch it. Team Swish going to be your stage 1 winner. In fourth place, Boots. In fifth, Butter Burton in sixth. Big Belly Brand in seventh. The Dab King in eighth. Little Uzi running at the top of the pack a lot today. He's going to be in ninth. Bro 27D going to be running in 10th. And those are going to be your drivers. Couple of drivers not going to be having as much luck. Flat Colt, Tev 88, Crutchy, and Merkelman all finishing with negative 15 laps or more.
Alrighty. Well, as soon as our winner gets out of his car and does his celebration, we will get the post-race interview. Alrighty. Who are the other guys? Right. Well, Atlanta, if you want to do the first post-race interview, go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. Did Slime Job send me a... Hold on. Is Slide Job in here? Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Slide Job, congratulations on your win at Chicagoland. We really didn't see you at the top of the pack until the end of the race, so how did you end up getting up there? Mm-hmm. 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 There you go. All right. What you got to say, Arkham? What you think?
Well, I wanted to ask Mr. Slidejob here. This was my first race commentating, and it was a very exciting race through the whole thing, especially your win. But I believe next week y'all are heading to the Roval. So, what is your mindset going into the next race? Because we all know that is a very tricky track to handle. Well then, I don't know if Fungus has anything to say or not, but congratulations on your win, and go into victory lane and pop that champagne.
Thank you, sir. So,
Alrighty.
what we know, I know you guys are new. I know Atlanta hasn't done a race in a while, but what we do is we go through the field and interview everybody else, at least for a few seconds. So, why don't you start with Little Uzi in 9th place?
Alrighty, I got oh,
Is he-
okay, you want to do that, Atlanta? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll start with a little Uzi. You there, buddy?
Actually,
think
no,
he's
sorry,
in here.
he's not here. How
Okay,
about
I'll copy on him.
Dab King in 8th?
All right, Dab King, you there? Dab King, you got a copy?
Yeah, he said he's here.
Oh,
You might
man.
have him
Okay,
muted.
you know what? I've got so many people muted, I totally forgot because just try not to have his little distractions during the race. All right, the Dab King, I got you there, buddy. So, you finished 8th place. What do you think went good and bad for your team today here at Chicagoland?
Well, we had one guy up there. We had Jared up there. He had a good race tonight. I had a decent race. I mean, I started on my wheel tonight, so we had a decent race for our first night on the wheel. So, yeah, we definitely had we had our good and bad. So, so that third stage we were a little bit faster than the second, and the first I feel like was our best, but.
Hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. You've always got next week at the Roval to look forward to. You know, if that's not your track, you still got a couple of more, you know, to figure it all out. So, not a bad job tonight. You know, you didn't finish negative 15 laps like some other drivers. So, good job on 8th place tonight.
Thank you.
If Arkham, you want to go next?
Team Swish, do you have a copy? Alrighty, Team Swish, we saw you the first stage. You were doing a heck of a job out there, and it looked like it kind of slowly declined for you as the race went. Can you tell us a little bit what happened to your car as the race went on? Well, next week, y'all are going to the Roval, no matter what, if you advanced or not. Hopefully you did, but, is there...
It is.
It is. Yeah.
I'll just so that you guys know, I'll calculate them right now if you want to stay in the party for a few minutes.
Alrighty. Alrighty, Team Swish. Hopefully, you continue your success in the next tracks, and I'll be looking forward to watch you in the next races. Keep up the good work. Alrighty.
All right, who we got next? Mr.
How about
Slime
you
Job?
take Mr. Big Belly Brand, who finished
Oh.
7th today.
All right, Mr. Big Belly Brand, how you doing today?
Doing all right. Didn't get the
Hey,
race
good
to
to-
go the way
good to
we
hear.
did.
Hey, man, like I said, there's always next week, but, you got 7th place is, in a race like this, you did get a top 10, but it's hard to say with a couple of other drivers not, finishing all the way through. But 7th place win, how do you feel about it today, and what could you have done better?
Could have made the car a little bit better, but overall race was all right, mediocre. This is probably one of my mediocre tracks, so we got that finish where we deserved it. But could have put a little bit more effort into that car, and maybe just pit road effort. Team didn't perform well, had bad pit stops, but
Man.
we can't really do nothing about that now. It's over with, and I don't know if we advanced. It ain't looking too likely, but we're just gonna wait and see.
Well, a positive attitude right there from Belly. Appreciate it, man.
Alright, how about
All
you
right.
take Butter Burton? He finished, I believe, 6th today.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
Butter Burton here. You sure, probably wanted a better race than you did, but you finished, what was the position in 6th?
Yep.
Yeah, you finished 6th, and so what can you tell us, about your car? What do you think you could have did better, or, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Start wrenching again. You're crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Interview
But
of the year.
hopefully, you continue good work at the next upcoming tracks and stuff. I believe Roval is next. Yeah, but hopefully you won't. But yeah. Well.
I'm doing it.
Well-
I'm already sold it.
But thank you for letting us interview you, and continue good work at the next upcoming tracks.
Alright,
All right.
how
All right, who we got
about
next? Slide job.
you got Jared's not here. Is Marker still
Okay.
here?
Yeah.
Alright, Marker, 2nd place. That will be the last one for today.
Okay, Marker. You guys 2nd place, just so close to 1st. I know you weren't really that close to him, but how do you feel? Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go from your second place driver tonight, Mr. Slyjaw, taking the win here for the Winston Cup League at Chicagoland. It was a great race. Arkham Boss joining me in the booth, as well as Fungus. He took a little break, but anything else you guys have to say before we head on out tonight? There you go.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Alrighty.
Thanks for watching, and you ain't no cowboy. Those are the 2 comments from the drivers. So I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight for the Winston Cup League at Chicagoland. Have a great night and stay safe.